Hot Mess Holly here, and in this video we're going to be talking about and reviewing a recipe from the Disney Parks Cookbook. It actually comes from Epcot. Apparently this is from one of the festival booths in 2006, it said, the America booth, and it's a New England Lobster Roll. Let's send a picture here. So this is a lobster roll, and we have some videos and clips of me putting it together.
Step one is you need lobster, and you need cooked lobster. So what I did is I found these packets of lobster in the freezer section of my grocery store. It says it's lobster from Maine, and I just thawed them in the fridge. So I'm going to open these up and put them first in this bowl there that I have. And I struggled a little bit to get the packaging open here. Note, as I opened it, it did say that you want the lobster to be in about 1/2 inch chunks, so I was cutting the larger pieces of lobster and putting them into my bowl. Next is you want some celery to go in with that, and it says some finely diced celery, and I'm just using my little dicer thing that I got here. I found another one that cuts them a little bit smaller than some of my other one I had, so I'm dicing my celery using this. Now there's a white onion that has to go in there, and I think it's like 1/2 cup. And I was thought about using the dicer, but I did think the celery pieces were probably a little bit bigger than finely diced like they wanted, so I'm just going to go ahead and dice my white onion myself. The next thing I need to chop that's going into my lobster salad that goes into the roll is a red bell pepper. So I'm mixing my lobster mix together and I'm getting ready to add the rest of the ingredients, and apparently I lost my clip for that. I am so sorry. Anyway, what I'm also adding to this after it's mixed together is I'm putting in about 3/4 a cup of mayonnaise, a tablespoon of some Dijon style mustard, and then salt and pepper to taste. It does mention that you can add tarragon, but I had some, but I was dicing it and I wasn't liking the smell of it. It reminded it too much of black licorice to me, so I did not add the tarragon to the recipe. Once I mixed it, I did put it in the fridge to chill for a little bit while I prepared the roll. So now I'm preparing the rolls, and what you want to do is you want to take some melted butter, about 1 tablespoon per roll, and this is just a hot dog roll. I got the ones that open on the top, so like the split style or whatever, and you're basically dousing these rolls in the butter so that they're nice and covered. Once this is done, I'm going to put them in the oven in the broiler, just until they're nice and golden brown. So I think they took about 3 minutes or so in the broiler to get done. Here are the rolls out of the oven. I'll get ready to put the lobster meat in them next. The first step it says you can do is actually take some diced up romaine lettuce, which I have here, and sprinkle it on the bottom of your roll. Now I'm putting the lobster meat mixture onto the roll.
Time to review the lobster roll. I'm going to be honest, I've had lobster rolls in the past. I do like them. This one was one of the ones where, the lobster meat is cooked, but it's chilled, basically, and you serve it with mayonnaise and stuff, so it's a little bit colder. I'm usually not a big fan of these mayonnaise-type lobster rolls. I usually like my lobster roll basically on a toasted butter bun with warm lobster meat and then butter on top of that. So, I guess I just like butter, basically, is what you're saying with that here. But I actually really enjoyed this. I thought this was really good. It was one of the better ones I've had when I've had the ones that have like the mayonnaise and stuff in the lobster. So I really did enjoy it a lot. Because of the cost of the lobster meat, and I'll get into that when I rank the ingredients, though I feel like I probably had a little less than what I should have had. So things like the onion was a little potent in it, so I probably would have done a little less onion if I were to do it again. But overall, it was still a really good roll, and I really enjoyed it, and it held up well for a few days too. I just, had some for lunch actually the day that I'm recording this, because it's been a couple days. So let's get into the rankings. The first, I do rank the ingredients on a scale of 1 to 5, and that's, 1 is easy to find, low cost ingredients, and 5 is harder to find, high cost ingredients. So this is a 3 for me. It could go up, it could go down based on that. So finding pre-cooked lobster meat was available in my one store, but it was like $33 for like 0.7 ounces of meat, or 7 ounces of meat, yeah, 0.7, for like 7 ounces of meat. So I had to buy a couple of those packs just to get what I got. And it still wasn't probably quite the 2 pounds that the recipe calls for. But still, I'm like, wow, that's kind of pricey. So I think depending on where you live now, I know there's like the imitation lobster meat. You could probably use that. I'm guessing it won't be as good. So that's why, maybe this could be lower for you. Maybe this could be higher. It probably just depends on what your availability is in terms of lobster. Now, the rest of the ingredients aren't expensive. They're all easy to find. It's your lobster meat that brings us a high on the scale and where you're going to spend some money. Difficulty level on a scale of 1 to 5. 1 is easy, 5 is hard. I mean, this is like a 1 to a 2. Again, I think it depends on the lobster meat. Like if you want to buy lobster and cook your own meat, go right ahead. So it might be a little bit more difficult. But otherwise, you're just mixing everything together and then you got to broil those buns. You do have to watch that you don't burn your buns when you broil them in the oven. But otherwise, this is fairly easy to put together. Would I make this again on a scale of 1 to 5? 1 is absolutely not, and 5 is absolutely all the time. I'm going to give it a 4 because I really did like this a lot. However, it's not a 5 for me because of the cost and stuff with it involved. It's probably going to be those things that like I treat myself to every so often or like once in a blue moon. So it's not going to be something I make a lot, but I did like it enough that I say, yeah, I would definitely make it again.